Blog Talk Radio.
Franchise interviews. From Easton, Pennsylvania to Sydney, Australia, you're listening to Franchise Interviews. Franchise Interviews. Welcome to Franchise Interviews. Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship. Listen to interviews with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys. And now, welcome your host, Marty McDermott, and Franchise Interviews.
Hi everyone, happy holidays and welcome to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 10 years now we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott. I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and we have a great show today. Well, today is day 12 of our 12 days of franchising. For each day from December 12th to December 24th, we'll ask Santa for a particular franchise opportunity. And on the 12th day of Christmas, we ask Santa for the 360 clean franchise opportunity. And you have to listen to the show to find out why, and that's coming right up on Franchise Interviews. So stick around because we have a great show.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Franchise Interviews, where we're asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott, with my co-host, Don Johnson. And if you ever dreamed of owning your own business, then you've come to the right place. And as we were saying earlier, Don, we have a great show today. We're meeting with Barry Bodiford, CEO of 360 Clean, a specialized janitorial franchise. And we're also meeting with Dennis Null, area developer of 360 Clean. And 360 Clean is the innovative leader of the commercial cleaning industry. Hi, Barry. Hi, Dennis. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Marty, for having us on.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you. Guys, joining us is my co-host, Don Johnson. And I know, Don, you wanted to say good morning to Barry and Dennis.
Barry and Dennis, we appreciate you coming on. Very excited to hear the 360 Clean story. You guys all pumped up this morning?
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys having us on.
Good.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Barry, we always like to start off asking our guests, where are you calling from this morning?
I'm actually I'm traveling a little bit. Our corporate office is in Charleston, South Carolina, but I'm actually over in Columbia, South Carolina today, meeting with a potential area developer for Charlotte. So having a good day.
That's fantastic. That's great. And Dennis, how about yourself? Where are you, Dennis, today?
I'm down in Mobile, Alabama, out meeting with
great.
customers.
And how's the weather down there in Alabama today?
It's great. It's going to be in the 70s today, so it's a great day.
Nice. Fantastic. That's great. Barry, I thought I could start off with you and find out what were you doing before getting involved in 360 Clean?
Well, I was a pharmaceutical sales rep, and that's what I'd done for 6 years and been in the corporate America scene. And, that's really what led me into this industry, because I had the desire to own my own business. So it was kind of my blood father, uncles that all owned their own business. So it's something I wanted to do, but I wanted to find something out there that could provide a niche service, but also was something that was potentially recession resistant and, something that could be replicated in franchising. And that led us into the janitorial service industry. And, from there, that's where we began to specialize in medical offices because of that background.
So, yeah, it's true, because when you think of your industry, you don't think of niche-oriented. And when Don and I were studying your franchise, we saw that you guys certainly do have a niche in the market. So I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, and I tell the same story all the time, is that when I first started 360 Clean, I looked at it as the world does not need another typical janitorial service. There were plenty of them out there, in the local market, and there's absolutely plenty of them in the franchise sector. So we said, you know what, when we address both areas from the service standpoint and the franchise sector, we're going to come in a different manner. And so far it's proven that people see the difference, and I think that's one of the main benefits or main reasons for our success.
Absolutely. Dennis, how about yourself? What were you doing before becoming an area developer for 360 Clean?
Well, I had done 15 years with a medical equipment manufacturer, and left that in 2005 to join my family in the real estate business. And unfortunately, at that same time, Hurricane Katrina hit down here on the Gulf Coast. So the real estate market just dried up, and it was tough going for a few years. So I started looking for something to do that I could go out and be my own boss and be in charge of my own destiny.
That's interesting. And you had the opportunity, Dennis, I guess, to go two different routes with 360 Clean. You had the area developer opportunity, and then I guess like the individualized unit. Why did you choose the area developer?
It really appealed to me because of the ability to go out and really be owner of it could be a potentially huge business and develop this area. I saw more potential in being able to go out there and do that, and I wanted to be able to also work with other individuals to help them grow and own their own business.
Interesting, yeah.
So Barry, talk to us, people listening. What's the appeal to be an investor and franchisee of 360 Clean? I mean, and maybe talk a little bit more about your thoughts of why you wanted to start up in this industry and the niche you have going on with the medical practices.
Sure. What we've done, like I was mentioning from the beginning as far as the niche and the market, is our focus on medical offices has always included disinfecting even the floors. We put a lot of focus on touch surfaces, which a lot of people don't think about. We look at them as the key pathway of germs spreading through offices, and those are things such as, your light switches, your doorknobs, keypads, things of that nature. But also taking the technology such as microfiber. We partner with Protein. They make a vacuum that has 4 levels of filtration. It's just taking everything beyond the traditional, what we would call trash and dash. If you take your traditional cleaning company, they come in, they may do a little bit of dusting, they empty the trash, they do some vacuuming, and they're out of there. We're looking at it more from a hygienic standpoint. And when I say that, that means, we're looking out also to keep your clients, but also your employees healthy.
Right.
And it's been proven, there's as many germs on a desktop and on fax machine button as there are in a restroom. And so those are things that we're focusing on and taking it to that next level. We clean a daycare, we clean a church, we clean an attorney's office just like we would a surgery center. Same product, same everything, and of course, it's competitively priced as well. And, from the area developer standpoint, it's a great opportunity. For one, there's not many opportunities out there where you can become what we kind of look at as like a regional franchisor. Because you take Dennis is he's basically a regional franchisor for Mobile and the Panhandle, Pensacola, and that area, because he's selling our franchises, supporting the franchisees, and helping them develop their business. But at the same time, it has multiple revenue streams, just like a franchisor. You get part of the royalty. You get part of every time you go out and get a contract for a franchisee, there's a sales and marketing fee that they get pretty much all of. And, there's other services that we offer that, of course, they get a piece of. But the benefit for the franchisee themselves, the unit franchisee, is that we look at, owning a small business, there's really 3 major hats that have to be worn. And that's the sales, the operations, and, the accounting, the back-end work. Well, so many times when you look at small businesses and why they fail, it has to do with sales. And so many people buy into franchises, and, it's a pretty shop and everything looks great, but all of a sudden they realize, I don't know how to market. I don't understand business development. And that's where the area developer comes in, because that's what the area developer is actually focusing on probably 90% of their time, is getting out and helping get more contracts and growing the business. So, they almost kind of become the full-time commission-only salesperson for the unit franchise owners. But at the same time, when you look at the industry continues to grow. As a company, we grew 300% in 2010. And, of course, for us, a lot of that has to do with our focus on medical offices. I'd say 70 to 75% of our contracts are made up of medical offices or surgery centers or something of that nature. So, everyone continues to get sick, and doctors continue to see patients. So, of course, they've got to keep their offices clean. And also, at the same time, standards are being increased. You know, you look at these medical offices and the way they were clean maybe 10 years ago, things are different now. You know, ever since H1N1, people are thinking a little bit different. You see sanitizers everywhere. You walk in, you know, you might even walk in some of the fast food restaurants now and you see hand sanitizers. So there's a lot more top-of-mind awareness about sanitization and how things should be sanitized or disinfected. So it's kind of playing into our marketing plan and what we're doing overall as a company.
And that, Dennis, is what attracted you to the franchise, Dennis. This niche, just not being a cleaning service, but a modern kind of specific niche type janitorial service. Yeah. Was that your attraction?
It definitely was. Having that in my background, I knew how important it was for facilities to be sanitized and how much they focused on cleanliness of their areas. And as I looked in my process of looking at 360 Clean, I looked at other competitors, and I really saw everybody else in the same boat, but this was a way to differentiate our service, and it truly is something that we do different than everybody else that's out there, which would translate not only to healthcare facilities, but as Barry said earlier, every type of facility is worried about the health of their employees and their customers, cutting down on sick days, increasing productivity. And this was a way that I could really go in and tell that story, and I think it has gotten a good reception.
And I think for people listening, one thing to make clear, in owning this type of franchise, you're not actually doing the work yourself. You're managing people. Maybe you can talk about that aspect a little bit, Barry.
Sure, definitely. And especially as an area developer, that's one thing when we market our area developer opportunities, we have to make sure everyone understands that you're not going to own a cleaning business. Like Dennis does not own a cleaning business. He's basically in charge of securing more franchisees, helping them grow their business, offering support. He's, like I mentioned earlier, he's kind of that regional franchisor of that area. And at the unit franchise level, we have people who come in two capacities. Some that come in part-time because it allows them to do that because we're helping them grow their business. We even do the accounting for them as far as invoicing and collections. And so it kind of leaves them to focus on the operations. And we have those that come in and want to do it full-time right away. So it offers some flexibility there. But another thing I'd like to mention is that, of course, I'm very involved with our area developers. I have an open door policy, an open phone line policy with our unit franchisees. And the reason I say that is because I've been at every level of this business. And I know there are definitely some CEOs in franchising who have been at every level of their business. But I started this business just how our franchisees started, part-time, many of them. And I built it into a full-time business. Then we began franchising. So I know, our system is built around how to do that correctly. We just didn't say, okay, you can start at part-time. We've actually mastered how you do that. We have processes for that of managing employees, finding the employees, and things of that nature that go along with running it part-time or full-time. And at the same time, I've been at the area developer level. We wanted to master each level before we, of course, began offering the opportunity. So for about 3 or 4 months in Charleston, I kind of played the role of an area developer before we secured an area developer in Charleston. So, at every level I've been, and our system is built around that. So every aspect of it's been mastered and been tested.
Every industry competitive. Your industry, of course, is competitive. What do you think makes a difference with a client, say a medical office, deciding to go with 360 Clean over other competitors? What have you seen has been the deciding factor?
What we did, it's a very good question. What we did about 3 years ago was we said, you know what, we have a specialization in medical. And I'm big on branding. I'm big on brand awareness. So what we did was we branded the process. And it's called Janimed, Janimed, Janimed. That is our cleaning processes and system for how we clean. So when we go in and we market, we're marketing 360 Clean, but we have this process and system called Janimed, and we really hone in on the benefits, not only for what you're going to see, but like we were speaking about earlier, the things you can't see that we're going to clean and how important that is. But on the flip side of that, we can be competitively priced. So is, just take a look at us. Let us give you a proposal so you can see what we do and just compare it to your current service. Most companies can't do that. Most of them are going to, and they're going to say, okay, we're insured, we're bonded, and so forth, and I'm going to beat the other guy out on price. And we're trying to raise awareness that, yeah, price, of course, is important. Everybody has a bottom line. But we try to educate. We join medical associations. We join, other types of associations. But we go in as an education and as an authority on the type of hygienic cleaning that we're providing. And it really begins to sink in. Now, it may take a little while, but at the same time, we begin to make inroads, and those things begin to create benefits.
Who gets credit for the name, Barry, for 360 Clean? Don and I thought that was a clever name for the company as well.
Yeah, when we were deciding on it, we were looking at, different names, and we have a great marketing company that does all of our branding, Root Concept. They've created our logo, our website to do everything for us. But in talking with Root Concept, I'll give them, some credit for that, of course. But when we looked at it, we looked at it from two angles. Not just 360 Clean being, the better cleaning company or cleaning everything from a 360 angle, but we also offer landscape services and maintenance services. Now, we sub those services out, but we can kind of become the one-stop shop for our clients as well. So there's really two angles on that name, the total clean and also being able to clean more than just, your inside. We can also take care of the outside of your building as well.
That's fantastic. It's interesting, the whole green concept. How has that affected your industry or your business, Barry? Have you guys got involved in that as well?
Yeah, we do. We have a program called 360 Green Clean. So if we go into an office and, let's say it needs to be a building that's LEED certified, they require green cleaning, we can go with our 360 Green Clean program, and it is a 100% green clean program. On the flip side of that, our Janimed system definitely involves disinfectants, and there is really no EPA green disinfectant out there because they still classify them as pesticides. So with that being said, we do as much green involvement with the Janimed system. We say it's basically environmentally conscious because it is. We're using green vacuums, we're using green glass cleaners, green microfiber products and our material and things of that nature. But I have to tell you, when you sit down with someone and you really begin to talk to them about the Janimed system, all of a sudden they begin to say, you know what, they are going to be as green as possible, but these germs are very important to me as well.
Of course.
So
yeah.
I would have to say, in our scope of work, I mean, we range from, in Florida up to Chicago, Illinois, and to Madison, Wisconsin, and I would still say that our Janimed system is being implemented probably 95% of the time. But we do offer the green program.
That's great. Barry, Dennis, we have to take a quick break. Are you gentlemen able to stick around for another segment?
Sure. Totally.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And we'll be right back with more franchise interviews.
Are you one of those special people who are willing to go after your dreams and goals? Are you ready to fulfill that dream of owning your own business with the security of a proven brand? The opportunity to take control of your future and own a Rita's Italian Ice franchise is within your reach.
Rita's is seeking success-oriented individuals who are ready to make a change in their life, and Rita's offers unparalleled training and support to assure your success. And did you know the frozen treat industry is a recession-proof industry, and there are Rita's in 23 states currently with 540 stores open. Rita's Italian Ice has been around for 25 years and is listed as a top-performing franchise by the Wall Street Journal.
Now here's the really good part. Rita's Italian Ice is a unique and amazing taste treat. It's smoother than a snow cone, and it combines ice with real fresh fruit. The real fruit adds dramatically to the taste, and it comes in over 40 flavors. The ice and fruit are mixed on site and made fresh daily, and it is delicious.
You'll want to know more about this exciting and successful franchise opportunity. Go to www.ownaritas.com and get all your questions answered. That's www.ownaritas.com to take control of your dreams and future today. You don't want to wait any longer to be a part of this adventure. www.ownaritas.com. Franchise Interviews. For over 2 years now, Franchise Interviews has been giving you an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship.
Through our website, franchiseinterviews.com, where you can hear and read interviews as well as get tips from some of the most successful sources in franchising.
And our weekly franchise radio show, where each week you get to hear a new interview with franchisors, franchisees, franchise authors, experts, and attorneys.
And our free franchise newsletter, which is a must-read for anyone looking to buy a franchise.
And don't forget to listen to our podcast, Great Quotes in Franchising. For more information, go to franchiseinterviews.com or call us at 610-905-2919.
That's 610-905-2919.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Franchise Interviews, where we're asking the Franchipreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott, with my co-host, Don Johnson. If you ever dreamed of owning your own business, then you've come to the right place. As we were saying earlier, Don, we have a great show today. We're meeting with Barry Boterford, CEO of the 360 Clean, a specialized janitorial franchise. We're also meeting with Dennis Null, area developer of 360 Clean. And 360 Clean is the innovative leader of the commercial cleaning industry. And Don, I think you're up.
Yeah, Barry, maybe talk about the type of franchisee moving forward you're going to be looking for, types of characteristics, any type of person you look for, any prior business ownership or sales experience. I mean, who's someone, I guess, you want to find, maybe someone like Dennis?
Sure. For the area developer, we're definitely looking for someone who has some sales or business development experience, because that's what they're going to be doing a majority of the time. But even more than that, someone who's looking to build something larger than just, say, a single franchise.
Right.
We have a lot of people who come to us and we talk to them, and they're looking at maybe owning, say, a restaurant or some type of other single unit. But what we really talk to them about and make sure that it's inside of them is that they want to do something larger than that, and they understand that they're going to have multiple franchise owners underneath them, and they're really looking at building that empire. With a franchise fee for our area developer, it's $29.5, and there's virtually, little or no overhead except for marketing and some working capital. So it's a very, very affordable opportunity with a lot of upside potential. As far as the unit franchise, our franchise fee is $8,500, and we get franchise owners to become unit franchisees from all different areas. There's really no set criteria that we're looking for, because, of course, they can start at part-time or they can start at full-time. But at the same time, we're very selective in that process, and we tell all of our current franchisees, look, be careful when we want to share our brand, and we want to represent ourselves in a very quality manner, because it's very important to the brand and to the brand quality. So we're very selective in that process. But we have, folks who are unit franchise owners who may be FedEx drivers, those who work in state jobs. We have some who are actually even in sales jobs. We've had a few come through that are in sales jobs with other types of companies. But the thing that it does is there's so many folks out there who are seeing downsizing, or they've been downsized. And this allows them to go ahead and kind of start and get their feet wet with business ownership with our unit franchise opportunity, and do it in a part-time manner and kind of build it and scale it, in the manner they would like to. So they can begin building this on the side, so if the time comes that they're ready to jump into it full-time or have to jump into it full-time, they've been able to start and kind of get ahead of the game.
And
but Dennis, did you want to talk about training? We should probably get the training too, right, Don? Yeah. I mean, what was that like for you, Dennis?
It's, starting out, only experience I had cleaning was cleaning my house, so I didn't really know what to expect on a commercial level. But
you probably weren't even good at that as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So Barry came in and spent about a week with me, and we went over training, went over all aspects of the business, and showed me the Janimed process and what we needed to do, and has always been there. As he said, he had an open phone policy. He does. He's always available for a phone call to answer any questions. And I think we have a good support group within the area developers, asking questions, and because they're going to come up. You're not going to be able to get trained on everything all at once. But I'm there for my franchisees, and Barry and the other area developers are there for me when I have a question that comes up that I don't know. So it was a good week to start off, and then ongoing. It continues today in training.
Yeah, one thing we're adding. I'm sorry. One thing we're adding in as well is some web training for the operational side of the business and the actual Janimed system and how we clean offices. We just came out with a new program. It's a web-based program that's video-based. So, anytime you go to training, you take in a lot of knowledge, but then you get out in the field and you're like, oh, this is the real thing. So this allows franchisees to go back to these videos and look at them and be trained from there forward. But at the same time, it provides them the opportunity to take a laptop in or an iPad or what have you and train their employees with these same training videos. So training is consistent across the board.
That's interesting. What about a typical day? It could be for Barry or Dennis. What's that like from the moment? I guess, Dennis, you should probably answer that question, like from when you get up till the end of the day, what goes on there?
A typical day for me is just nonstop prospecting, so going out and trying to get my franchisees new accounts. And mixed into that, we have customer support, doing inspections, making sure that we are providing the service that we said we're going to provide, and then also trying to work with the franchisees on any things that they have questions about as far as running their business. So my first goal is to try to find my franchisees new business, and then mixed in there, making sure we're taking care of our customers and delivering on what we said we were going to do. And then, the evening time, late afternoon, early evening is just kind of wrapping up, making sure I've got all the loose ends tied up and making sure that just running a company, looking at the books, making sure that we've got the revenue coming in that we need and planning my advertising program.
Are you happy with that answer, Barry?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I think you practiced that one. No, I talk to these guys daily, and I think I've already talked to two already this morning. So we're all in tune to what we're doing, and the great thing about the network of area developers we've got now is, we're building a little bit of competition amongst them, which makes it fun, and at the same time we're really uniting as a team, and it's not your typical franchise system where support is all about when you have a problem. We're talking all the time too about being productive and proactive and coming out with new ideas. And I think more than anything, I think Dennis would say the same thing, is we're actually having a lot of fun and doing what we're doing. So that's the most important thing.
Well, Marty and I have been doing this over 4 years. We've done several hundred shows. We've heard so many times that the importance of the whole company is the strength of the franchisees and developers, and so that teamwork, everybody's in it together. It's a great thing when that's all really going well.
It is, and anytime you talk to franchise owners, you're going to hear there's no one in any system that's not going to hear a complaint here and there, but the most common complaint you hear across the franchise industry is, I'm not getting enough sales. I want to grow my business, and that's why we've implemented the area developer role in the way we've implemented it and put it at a very affordable rate, franchise fee, because it takes that away. And there's always somebody focusing on business development and growing that business.
If I owned a medical practice, I would have just hired you right on the show here, just for the record.
There you go. Exactly.
So what's next for
today?
Yeah, just email it over. So what's next for 360 Clean? What are some of the plans coming up this year and next?
Well, I'm actually fixing to walk into an Embassy Suites to speak to a gentleman, and hopefully we're going to be entering the Charlotte, North Carolina market here very soon. But we want to be nationwide by the end of 2012. 2011, we feel certain we'll enter at least 5 or 6 new markets. But at the same time, we feel like a lot of the momentum we have will take us into new territories, and we want to have a representative in at least one representative in each state by the end of 2012.
And I think you will. Seems like you're both obviously doing a good job, know what you're doing. I really like, this type of niche market that you're going after because, this is a pretty big industry, commercial cleaning. I like how you just have, like Marty said, I like the name. I like your specific niche in medical. I know you do other, but, we'll have to see what happens. Best of luck to you.
We appreciate it so much.
Barry, what's the best way for our listeners to get more information on becoming a franchisee? Are there any websites they can go to, any numbers they should call?
Absolutely. You can go to 360clean.com, so www.360clean.com. Everything is on there about our franchise information, the JaniMed system, or you can also call 888-241-4665, and that's 888-241-4665. And you can ask for myself, or you can ask for George Palmer, our Director of Franchise Development, and we'll take care of you from there.
That's fantastic. I want to thank both you gentlemen again, Barry and Dennis. You're fantastic guests, and Don and I would love to have you back in the near future.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Great job, guys.
Take care.
So long.
Great show, huh, Don?
Yeah, interesting. You always have to have a little niche and specialty, and I think these days people are more than ever paranoid about getting sick and germs and all that, and if I was a company, I'd pay a little more to make sure I have a service that was solid and was going to do the job. I didn't have to worry about it.
Well, yeah, it is. It's so important. I mean, again, you don't want your employees getting sick, It's, and it's interesting just like, as a marketing professor, how Barry was able to, identify, the trends taking place in society, like the sanitizer. I mean, you see that hand sanitizer, Don, all over the place. And my wife, I hope she's not listening right now, she's a fanatic with that stuff, you know what I mean? So, yes, the world has changed today. It's not the same world as it was 10 years ago, I mean, people are conscious of these things, companies are going green, so these are important things. And again, go back to that stat, is your desktop contains 400 times more germs than a toilet. Ouch, right. It's that's something. So it's a great concept. I'm very interested, So again, we'll keep our eye on them and have them back in the near future.
Yes.
Well, good job today, Don. And for our listeners, go to franchiseinterviews.com.